afternoon, students. Welcome to this counseling session specifically meant for intermediate paper 1 accounting old and new course. I am CA Seema Gupta, Faculty Board of Studies, and I am here to guide you about how to prepare and how to tackle the paper of accounting in old as well as new course. As you know, accounting is a very important paper. It's a very significant paper. The significance of this paper can be very well judged from the fact that it's a complete paper of 100 marks in both the groups of intermediate. One is paper 1 and another is paper 5. So if we apply effective strategy to tackle with this paper, then definitely we can achieve success and we can pass this paper with flying colors. As you know that you have already got the extended time period of around 3 weeks for this November 20 examination, and you have already prepared well in advance for that because they were scheduled earlier in the first week of November. So now this additional time which you are getting, you can utilize for attempting more previous examination question papers, mock test and RTP questions. If you practice more, then definitely you will gain confidence and you will be able to achieve. You will be able to complete the paper within the stipulated time period. In most of the cases, the students complain us that we are not able to complete the paper within the prescribed time period. So the lack of practice is the main cause for that, due to which the students are unable to complete the question within the time period of 30 to 35 minutes which should be allocated for a particular question in the examination. In old course, we have 7 questions in total where you are given the choice to attempt 5 out of 6 and first question is compulsory. And in the new course, you have all the questions of 20 marks and again you have got 6 questions you have to attempt and you have one choice in between. So the pattern of the examination question paper we will discuss in due course of time in this session, and what is the weightage of the topics we will also discuss. But the most important fact is that conceptual understanding of the topics as well as adequate practice of the practical problems is very much necessary. It's rather necessary, I would say it's a required thing. It's a requirement, it's a mandatory thing to attempt for this particular paper in the examination hall. So let's move further. I hope till the time you have already studied the concepts from the topics of the study material, either in old course or if you are in new course, both of the ways. And in old course you have 15 chapters, whereas in new course you have 14 chapters and you have 3 modules. In old course you have 2 modules. So by this time you have already studied the concepts from the study material. So now it's a time to revise all the concepts, recap, to give a quick recap of the contents, as well as to apply those concepts by solving the practical problems in the real examination stimulated conditions. So that thing you have to manage. So now while discussing the strategy, we can come back to our slides. Regarding applicability of Companies Act 2013 and legislative amendments, for November 20 examination, the cutoff date is, what is the cutoff date? Cutoff date is 30th April. So 30th April is the cutoff date for the November 20 examination. And how you have to prepare for it? You have to prepare all the essentials of preparation in this particular subject. You have to know your subject. You have to familiarize with the knowledge inputs provided by the Board of Studies. You have to plan your time accordingly. What time you will what time you will allocate for revision of the concepts and what time you will allocate for practicing more and more questions. You have to understand, you have to study the relevant materials. You have to prepare notes for the later revisions. And you have to keep yourself updated and attempt mock test. The paper of accounting at intermediate level concentrates on conceptual understanding of the crucial aspects of accounting. working knowledge of the principles and procedures of accounting and their application to different practical situations is required. The syllabus of accounting has been segregated into 14 chapters for the purpose of its full coverage and study. So, 3 modules are there. In first module, we have accounting standards and framework. In second module, we have the company accounts portion. And in third module, we have the miscellaneous chapters like investment, account from incomplete record, departmental accounts. And many of the students have asked us like how to attempt the question paper in time. So that strategy I have already discussed with you. You have to practice more and more to attain confidence, and that will definitely help you in attempting the questions in time under the examination conditions. And many of you have already attempted the mock test paper, as it's quite visible from the responses which we have received from the students that you are facing some difficulty in 1 or 2 questions that we will also discuss separately, and or you can mail me your respective queries. The most important point which many of the students have raised is about the accounting standards. So generally the students have told us, they have communicated us that they find difficulty in attempting the question on accounting standards. They do not understand which para would be applicable for that particular scenario given in the question, and they do not understand how to give the answer to fetch marks. Like if it's a 5 marks question, then how to fetch marks in that particular question. They are not able to write the required answer. So that also we will discuss in the session. Now come to paper 1. We have what important topics we are having in our study material. First, we have accounting standards and framework. As you are able to see that we have accounting standards and framework. It is there. Then we have framework for preparation and presentation of financial statements. Then we have AS1, AS2, AS3, AS10, AS11, AS12, AS13 and AS16. It means there are 4 accounting standards which are applicable for cash flow, which is already covered. There are 4 accounting standards are already covered in our study material other chapters. There are in total 8 accounting standards, but 4 accounting standards are already covered in one way or the other in our study material. How? AS3 cash flow, it is already there in our company accounts chapter, unit 2 of chapter 4. Then we have AS13 investment, that is already covered in investment accounting chapter. Then we have AS11, that is somehow connected with branch accounting, foreign branch accounting chapter. And then we have AS1. AS1 is already covered in majority of the chapters. So the basis of accounting in majority of the topics is AS1. So AS1, AS3, AS11 and AS13. These accounting standards are more or less covered in our respective chapters. What are the new standards for us? AS2, AS10, AS12 and AS16. AS16 is borrowing cost, AS12 is government grant, AS2 is inventory valuation and AS10 is PPE, that is property, plant and equipment. So this way we can divide our 8 accounting standards in 50-50 ratio, so that 50% are basically we have to study under the accounting science chapter, and the rest 50% we can already study while undergoing the particular chapter. Or we can reverse the situation. How we can reverse our activity? We can first study the accounting standard from this particular chapter, and simultaneously at the same time we can also refer the chapter from the other module. Then we have very important part, that is preparation of financial statements. Preparation of financial statements, as you know, we have 2 types of entities which are being covered in paper 1 syllabus, corporate and non-corporate. So in corporate accounting we have a complete chapter And there we have a full-fledged question of 16 or 20 marks from this particular topic, where we may be asked to prepare a statement of P&L, a balance sheet, a cash flow statement. They may be involving a small question of managerial remuneration, profit or loss prior to incorporation, bonus, redemption of preference shares and debentures. But those particular topics on those particular topics only 5 or 6 or 8 marks question may be asked. But on this particular portion, statement of profit and loss and balance sheet and cash flow, a full-fledged 16 marks question is supposed to be asked from this particular topic. So you have to be very thorough with it. Now come to investment. As I have already discussed, that investment chapter is basically a replica of AS 13. Then we have insurance claim, hire purchase, installment sale transactions. Definitely these are separate topics which we have to study and we have to solve adequate number of problems from this particular topic. Department, branch and accounts from incomplete records. Account from incomplete records is basically a preparation of financial statements of non-corporate entities. So now, under the second part of this under the second part of our syllabus, now we come to the second part, where we have the enough number of practical problems, lot of illustrations with examples which explain the application of the concepts of the topics and provisions of the accounting standards. We have lot of exercise questions also. You can attempt those questions to gain more confidence. As you know, again and again, we are emphasizing on this particular fact that accounting is a practical paper. So being a practical paper, it's very scoring, definitely, but it may be a less scoring paper if you do not give the adequate practice to the practical problems. Because when practical papers give you a scope for increasing marks, then simultaneously at the same time, they give scope for reduction of marks also if you do not attempt the practical problem in the desired manner with adequate working notes, with in the prescribed formats if any, and with due disclosures and notes. So that important factor we always have to keep in our mind while practicing, while attempting those questions in our registers. And moreover, one more thing is there, many of the students just read the illustrations. They just read the illustrations or examples given in the study material without taking the efforts to use pen or pencil and to solve those problems in the notebooks. So that is the very bad thing. That is a very negative phenomena. I once again request all the students not to study the study material paras or to study the practical problems given the study material in this manner, but be more mature, be mature enough to solve those problems in the notebook and then compare your solutions with the solutions given in the study material. That will be the effective way to have the effective learning. Because studying is not important. We have to learn those things. Learning is important rather than studying. So we have to learn the basic concepts of the standards of the topics, and then we have to apply those concepts in the real life scenarios, in the practical problems given in the study material. So July 2019 edition of the study material of paper 1 accounting is applicable for November 20 examination. But chapter 8 on redemption of debentures has been revised afterwards, and that has been duly hosted on the BOS knowledge portal. And it is advised to refer the updated chapter uploaded on the BOS knowledge portal. So only the chapter 8 revised chapter 8 you have to refer, which is not there in our July 19 edition, because some specific provision relating to transfer of the amount to DRR regarding adequacy of DRR amount, there was some notification which was issued after July 19, so that chapter had to be revised, and that particular chapter could not be incorporated in July 19. That is the reason it was later it was uploaded, revised, and duly informed through announcement to the students. There was a change in syllabus of certain topics with effect from May 20 examination in the syllabus of paper 1 accounting. So now what is that change? Application of accounting standards AS4, AS5, AS17 and AS22, they are no more applicable now. That means application of accounting standard AS4, AS5, AS17 and AS22 are not applicable for paper 1 students. They have been shifted to paper 5. So the students are not required to study those particular standards anymore. This change was made with effect from May 20 examination. It is not an addition in syllabus, it was an exclusion, it was a reduction in syllabus. So this is basically for the benefit of students. Because there were certain issues, we found that the standards are little bit more complicated. Paper 1 students may find it difficult to understand those provisions. So we shifted it to paper 5. So you are not required to bother about these 4 accounting standards, and your syllabus has been reduced. Your syllabus has been reduced. The same topic, a very subtopic related with AS22, that is concept of deferred tax asset, deferred tax liability, in line with AS22 under company accounts, was also there under company accounts portion, that is under chapter 4. Because we were removing AS22 from this particular paper, so that subtopic also was removed from the company accounts portion under paper 1 new syllabus. This is all I am telling about paper 1 new syllabus. In the later time, we will also discuss about the paper 1 old students also. Because this session is meant for both students, old as well as new. So I am concentrating on both. I am concentrating on the requirements for both types of students. So please bear with the this, and if you are an old course student, you continue watching this session. We will also discuss about the syllabus requirement of old course and the old course question paper structure also. But many of the things, majority of the things are common, so we are discussing it at the common points also at the same parlance. So now come to another topic, dissolution of partnership firm. That was there in the syllabus of paper 1 up till November 19 examination. But that has also been removed later. So with effect from May 20 examination, you are not required to study. But this was the first examination of the changed syllabus which could not be held. So now with effect from November 20 examination, the change has been made applicable. So you are not required to study the same. This is exclusion, so there is no need to worry. There is no increase in syllabus, but there is only a reduction. Whether Ind AS IFRS are applicable for July 20 examination, many of the students ask this question. No, they are not at all applicable because they are not relevant for your syllabus. For intermediate syllabus, only those accounting standards which are there in your syllabus, they are applicable, not any other syllabus. In the meantime, we will also refer the queries if any will be there, and we will also discuss the same. The question paper will have total 6 questions, 20 marks each. This is a pattern of the question paper. So as I have already discussed, the question paper will have total 6 questions and 20 marks each. And one question will be, question number 1 is compulsory. And out of the remaining 5 questions, the students will be required to answer any 4. The students will be required to answer any 4 questions out of the remaining 5 questions. Question number 1 is compulsory based on accounting standards. So it means the topic of accounting standards is very significant. It's a very crucial topic. Why? Because It's a compulsory question, it's a mandatory question. If you do not study the provisions of the accounting standards in effective manner, then definitely you will not be able to score good marks in this particular paper. You have to have the complete knowledge, complete understanding of the accounting standards portion of the study material. Whatever accounting standards are in your syllabus, whether it's old course, then whatever the standards have been prescribed for you. If it's new course, then whatever the accounting standards prescribed for you, that you have to study. In each and every paper, old as well as new, question number 1 is a mandatory question. There is no choice in that question. That is 20 marks question, and the you have to have attempt that particular question. So it means the first question is very important for this while attempting the question paper from the examination point of view. The first question is very important. First of all, when you see the question paper and the very first question of the question paper is slightly different, you are unable to do it, or it's slightly new sort of question where you fumble yourself, or you're not able to start attempting that particular question, that definitely is a big hindrance. It will definitely give a negative impression as well as to the examiner and to you also, because that will give a low moral. That will low down your confidence level, and that will also give the chance that whatever questions you are also comfortable with, because of that nervousness, you may be able to solve them in a wrong manner. So be calm and confident. Focus on the important topics very much, and accounting standards, I would say, is a very important topic. It's a very important topic. So you have to understand the provisions of accounting standards. If the framework is there in your course, then definitely framework also. And you have to have a strong base of that particular topic. Not only from the examination point of view, but even after becoming a chartered accountant in the real life, either you are in practice or you are in business or you are in job, wherever you will go, you will have to apply the accounting standards. You should know how to apply those accounting standards in the real life scenarios. So, internal choice in any other question, and wherever necessary suitable assumptions may be made and indicated in answer by the students. Many of the students have asked us, can we filter लगा दो accounting का filter. In many of the cases, like Parv Shah has asked us that he is not able to complete the paper in the prescribed time period. So I think that is the only reason. Filter नहीं लग सकता. That is the only reason, because we do not practice more. We do not practice more, and we are not able to attempt that in the time period. As you know that there are 6 questions in total, and we have 3 hours. So we have to have that a particular question we have to attempt in 25 to 30 minutes, not more than that. Rather than for the initial questions, we have to spend less than 15-20 minutes, because Daksh, you have asked us about the topic of accounting standards and how to score more marks. Nikita, you have also asked us. Yash Arora is asking about the department question problem. We will discuss Yash later. Okay, that particular problem, if we will be able to discuss, we will definitely discuss. But right now, I want to focus more on the pattern of the question paper and on the strategy. You have not specified, actually, Yash, you have not specified your query as such, but you have just mentioned that you have some problem in department or department question. but really you have not specified what type of problem you are facing. So please be more specific if you can, and please tell us the specific problems so that any of the queries, if you can ask me so that we can resolve it during this session. But try to be more specific so that we can take up the queries in the effective manner. Otherwise, we will not be able to answer, because if it's a general query, then we will have to leave it. You have to be more specific while asking the queries. So wherever necessary, suitable assumptions have to be made, and they have to be disclosed properly by the students in their answers, because otherwise if there is a scope of assumption, suppose in a particular question of goodwill we are not given the method of valuation of goodwill, like what way we have to super profit method or average profit method or capitalization method is not mentioned in the question of partnership, and we have to apply a particular method, then what will we do? We have to specify what particular method, because the selection of method will make the difference in the valuation of goodwill. The selection of method will make the difference in the valuation of goodwill. So what method, what approach you have considered, that you have to take. Then we have skill requirement, that what type of questions will be asked in the examination. In intermediate level, we only have application analysis based questions. They may comprise of questions testing the student's ability to analyze and apply concepts, principles, and accounting standards and legislation to different transactions of various business entities while preparing and presenting the financial statements. The questions may also require you to examine the provisions of the specific accounting standards, whatever is covered in the syllabus. Nothing will be beyond the syllabus. First of all, be very confident and be assured that nothing will come in the question paper beyond the scope of syllabus. So that you have to be very specific about, and you have to apply those provisions of the accounting standards while solving the problems of moderately complex situations, non-complex to moderately complex situations, because at intermediate level, highly complicated problems will not be asked. Then we have CNK, that means comprehension and knowledge, and they may be requiring you to explain, define, describe something. Now come to old course. The specific points of new course and specific points of old course I am discussing at length. Then the general points which are relevant for both types of students, then we will discuss in the later half of the session. This is old course, okay? In old course, what topics we are having? Accounting standards, financial statements of companies, profit or loss prior to incorporation, bonus issue, internal reconstruction and amalgamation. We have 2 modules under old course, okay? And then we have average due date, account current, self-balancing ledgers, financial statements of NPOs, accounts from incomplete records, hire purchase and installment sale transactions, investment, insurance claim for loss of stocks and loss of profit, partnership and accounting in computerized environment. So there are 2 modules, and that we have to consider what type of question may be asked from which particular topic. Now come back to the first list. In accounting standards, we have 1 full-fledged question. No doubt on that. Out of the remaining 6 questions, we have to attempt 5 questions of 16 marks each out of the 6 questions given in the examination. So you have a choice. You have a leverage to leave any particular 1 question. And moreover, in last question, we can have internal choice also. Okay. So, from chapter of financial statements of companies, we have generally a full-fledged 16 marks question. But out of the remaining topics like profit or loss prior to incorporation, bonus issue, we can have a 5 marks or 8 marks question or 10 marks question, not beyond that, not more than that. In internal reconstruction or amalgamation, again, Either of the two. Either a question will be asked on internal reconstruction or a question may be asked on amalgamation, but generally not a full-fledged question on both. So, a 16 marks question on any of these two topics. Average due date, account current, cell balancing, these are the small topics. They are less significant, less important from the examination point of view, but 5 marks, 6 marks, maybe 8 marks question may be asked from these three small topics. Then we have NPOs, account from incomplete record. NPOs or account from incomplete record, either of these topics, a full-fledged 16 marks question may be asked. In hire purchase, again a 5 marker may be asked or may not be asked. In insurance claim, again 8 marks question may be asked. In investment also 8 to 10 marks question may be asked. Accounting in computerized environment, not more than 4-5 marks. It's a theory chapter. It's a theory question like C and K question may be asked, and that will also be a very simple question, not beyond that 4 or 5 marks. Then we have partnership. In partnership, we can have a full-fledged question. So this was regarding the structure of the question paper, which you may be asked in the examination. Now, what is an addition which is applicable for old course students? July 15, but after that, and we have April 16 PM, but after that, we revised few chapters, chapter 1, 2 and 6, we revised. With due announcement was made at that time to the students, and they have been uploaded at the BOS knowledge portal of the institute's website. So it is advised to ignore the chapters 1, 2 and 6 from the earlier edition, whatever you are having, but you are advised to refer the updated chapters uploaded on the BOS portal. It is also advised to ignore the questions number 21 to 33 based on AS6 and 46 to 55 based on AS10 given in your PM, old PM. Okay. The pattern of the question paper, new course I have already discussed. Now come to old course. In old course, the question paper will have total 7 questions, 20 marks each. First question will be there, and out of the remaining 16 marks question, the students will be asked to attempt any 5. Internal choice in any of the question may be provided. So on the basis of these pattern only, on the basis of this pattern of the question paper only, we have devised our mock test. So that is the only suggestion to all of you to attempt the mock test in the simulated examination conditions. If you have not solved, if you have not done, so there is no, as such, there is nothing lost till now. Even now you can attempt them. And try to compare your solutions with the solutions which have been hosted on the website for those mock tests to have an idea where you are lacking. What are your weaknesses? Where you should need improvement? What you can more do to improve those particular topics? Even if you want to seek our help in this regard, we are here. We will definitely guide you about how to prepare, how to remove your weaknesses, and to make those weaknesses as your strong points. So in both the mock test papers, if you have seen, under old course as well as under new course, we have first question of accounting standards. Under new course also we have first question of accounting standards, and under old course also. And that particular question, if you have attempted on your own, while seeing the answer also, you will gain the idea like how to solve that particular question of accounting. That looked like to be a theory question, but that's not a theory question. It's a totally application based question where you need to apply your full mind, where you need to apply your full brain, and you need to have a thorough knowledge of the provisions. Thorough knowledge means just not reading, but effective learning is required. While seeing the answer, while attempting the question, if you have any doubt, you can raise me, and we will definitely answer it, because active participation, your active participation will make Board of Studies a success. We will be having more proud if you are satisfied, and if you are not comfortable with the contents given in the study material, then you read it once more, twice, thrice. Definitely, if you are uncomfortable with any particular para, if you are not sure about understanding of any particular topic, then you can read it once more, and if you are still not thorough, then you can ask us to have more detailed understanding for that particular provision. So, but reading is important. Again and again, we are saying that studying is important. Whatever you do, you have to study. At least study you have to do to make you learn, about the concepts of the contents given in the study material. Okay. So now, regarding accounting standards, I have already said that few accounting standards have interlinking between the topics. At the end of study material, the bare text of the accounting standards have also been given for the old course. In financial statements of companies, format of Schedule 3 under Companies Act 2013 is to be applied in the financial statements of companies required to be prepared for bonus, redemption of preference shares and redemption of debentures, amalgamation, reconstruction, whatever topic is dealing with company accounts. So whatever topic is dealing with company accounts, that you have to see in line with Schedule 3. That Schedule 3 format you have to see, you have to check it, and you have to prepare the balance sheet or statement of profit or loss in line with it. Which particular segment, which particular section of the accounting standard. Then you have to apply the provision through examples, practice, or illustrations on accounting standards given in the study material. And after studying each standard explained in the chapter, you can refer the bare text. We do not say that always you refer the bare text, but bare text also. Whether you are advised to refer bare text also, to have a strong base of the concept of the accounting. There may be interlinking also, as I have already told, that AS3 is there in company accounts also, investment, AS13 is there, investment accounts topic also. So that interlinking also you have to check. It's not like this, that while solving a problem on investment accounts, I ignore the provisions of AS30. That I cannot do. Let me check if any more queries have come. So that is the main thing about the accounting standards. Under new course, AS1, AS2, AS10, AS11, 12, 13 and 16, there are 8 accounting standards which are applicable for November examination. So, you have to see that the majority of the amendments you are able to cope with. You have to see the significant amendments given in the RTP also, so that you have not missed any amendment which is not incorporated in your study material, but any amendment which has come after that particular date of the release of publication of release of the study material, but is relevant for you, because the cutoff date for the applicability of amendments for your particular examination November 20 is now 30th April. So that all the list of those all amendments you can check from the RTP section 1, where all the amendments are covered. Schedule 3 sets out the minimum requirements for disclosure on the face of financial statements and notes to accounts. Cross-reference of each item of the balance sheet and statement of profit and loss shall be made to the related information in the notes to accounts. So this, so I think you will be able to manage. We can skip it. These are all the contents covered in your chapter on financial statements of companies. Section 197, 198, where they prescribe about the overall maximum manager remuneration payable and also manager remuneration in the case of absence or inadequacy of profit. How to compute the total manager remuneration payable by a company, which is governed by various sections of Companies Act and also under Schedule 5 of the Companies Act. Section 123(2) provides that depreciation must be to the extent specified in Schedule 2 to the Companies Act. So these are all the provisions of the Companies Act which you have to be familiar with, which you have to be aware with. What are the provisions relating with bonus issue? Like a company may provide fully paid up bonus shares to its members out of its free reserve, securities premium, capital redemption reserve. But no issue of bonus shares shall be made by capitalizing reserves created by revaluation of assets. So if any revaluation reserve is there, you cannot issue bonus shares out of it. And the securities premium account and CRR may be applied by the company towards the issue of unissued shares of the company to the members of the company as fully paid up, but only as fully paid up bonus shares. Under hire purchase, which methods to study? Cash price and interest suspense method and sales and interest suspense method in the books of hire vendor. So cash price method in the books of hire purchaser and sales and interest suspense method in the books of hire vendor. Under hire purchase chapter, you have to study only this much and no other methods are required to be studied. So in your July 19 edition of paper 1 new and in July 15 edition of paper 1 old, they are the only methods which have been discussed in the study material. No additional method has been discussed, but there are numerous queries which have been received to us, so that is why we are telling again. But don't get confused. Now in investment accounting chapter again, as I have already discussed, there is interlinking of the chapter corresponding to the accounting standards. Like AS 13 is to be followed in chapter of investment accounting. AS 2 is also to be followed. Like if you are dealing in investment, what method you have to follow for valuation of inventories at a particular date? LIFO, FIFO, weighted average. What method you are following? Whether it's in line with AS 2 or not? Because certain methods which the entities were using earlier, now they have been prohibited by AS2. So what is the method which LIFO is being followed or weighted average cost is being followed, and how we have to value the inventory of investment at the end of the accounting. Under insurance claims, generally the students find it difficult because they say it's a boring topic and we don't find any interest in this particular topic. But you have to study the topic because there is generally a weightage of 8 marks or 6 marks question which may be coming from this particular topic in the examination. However, if the loss of stock question comes, the students do not find it much difficult. But in case of loss of profit policy, and that loss of profit policy question becomes little bit more heavy. Heavy in the sense, it may be then 14 marks, 12 marks or 16 marks question. In the terms of marks, I am saying it heavy. So you have to be familiar with both the methods. If you leave this particular topic, then definitely in under examination, this topic, the question based on this particular topic comes, then you may not have any other choice but to attempt the question. Because under the optional questions also, if you're not comfortable with 2 questions or 3 questions, then you have to select which question you are most comfortable with. The loss of profit policy normally covers 3 items: loss of net profit, standing charges, increased cost of working. Standing charges are those charges which they are there to be incurred whether you are running the business, whether you are having any profit, whether you are conducting any business activity or not. An increased cost of working is that due to the fire or due to the mishappening, The business has to be shifted to a new location. The charges which have been increased due to the mishappening. So they are the increased cost of working. Claim for loss of profit is equal to net profit plus insured standing charges. So this is regarding how to answer the accounting standard based question. As I have already discussed, you have to analyze the facts of the particular case given in the question. Then you have to apply the particular para of the accounting standard. First of all, which accounting standard is to be applied, and then what para, what provision is relevant for that particular standard. What particular para of the standard is applicable for that particular problem. Then we have application of the provisions of accounting standards. How to study effectively and remember the concepts. Many of the students have asked this query. You have to refer the key points of a particular chapter given at the beginning of the chapter, and plus you have to study, you have to understand the entire contents of the chapters. It's not very huge, it's not something very large. So it's a CA examination, a professional examination, so we cannot have the type of shortcuts which we can apply to achieve success in this particular examination, but we have to have thorough knowledge of the contents. So this is something which we have already discussed, but let's summarize it once again. First of all, each and every person has a specific strategy for achieving success in the examination. You have to plan, because without planning you will not be able to score well. The entire time may be wasted if you do not plan in advance. So you have to plan what is your strategy, how you will go about completion of the syllabus. However, right now we will not discuss about completion of the syllabus. I am rather presuming that you have already completed your syllabus and right now you are under revision stage. Revision stage means you are just attempting more and more mock tests or RTP questions or previous examination question papers. You have completed your first and second round of study till the time now. Acquaint yourself with the syllabus, you have already done. Assimilate all the knowledge inputs provided by the board of studies. I think this also you have done. You have gathered all the RTPs, you have gathered all the syllabus, you have gathered all the mock tests. Plan your studies in a manner that you keep at least 2 rounds of your revision after your study. So your study part is over. Now your revision stage has started. So you have to plan at least 2 rounds of your revision. Practice solving a good number of questions in each topic and prepare necessary notes. Keep yourself updated. The significant amendments relevant for your particular paper in line with the syllabus has already been summarized and given in the RTP. So please refer the RTP. All the chapters are important for the examination point of view. So I would not say rather that which chapters you should leave and which chapters you should study more. One student has asked us that which chapters we can leave and what are the chapters are important from an examination angle. So I believe everything is important. However, you can see the previous examination question papers if you want, and you can decide yourself that what particular section is less important. But according to me, everything is important, and thus you can refer skill wise and section wise weightage of marks which has already been hosted on the website for old as well as new course. From that particular section, you can have at least idea about how to prepare and how to go while revising the chapters. Okay. Pattern of the questions we have already discussed, and moreover you can refer suggested answers of past examinations. How to approach a numerical problem. Conceptual clarity is very important for any numerical problem. While attempting a theoretical question, what important points should be kept in mind? You have to read the given information and requirement of the question. You have to think what is a requirement of that particular question and what you can give, what inputs you can give as an answer to it. You have to write very clearly and very crisply for that particular question. So BOS inputs, I think you all are familiar with it. You know the study material, you know the RTP, test and answers and mock test, you know student journal for academic updates. And however, the particular amendment which is relevant for your particular paper syllabus have already been given to you in the form of RTP. RTP section 1. Video lectures are there which you can refer. Integrated manner, you have to start your study. That also we have discussed that many of the topics are interrelated to each other, like accounting standards in majority are interlinked with some topic or the other. Definitely, the objective of our study should be to gain knowledge, not to just solve the practical problem, but to gain ability in the to solve the problems in the working scenario also, in the practical, in the real life also, not only theoretically. How to improve marks in the examination? Majority of the students have asked us this query. How to improve marks? First of all, you see this because this is very important from the examination point of view, and this should be of more interest to you because this is something which gives a stimulus. Like even after studying so hard, even after preparing for the paper so hard, we are not able to score good marks in the examination. What actually we are supposed to do? Where we are lacking? What is a negative point, or what is where we missed every time? So, regarding this, listen carefully about these points. These are very important. These are very significant. So, if you want to note down, you note down these points. First, write the answer which you know the best. What does it mean? You are given reading time. In the reading time only, you can decide about your priority of the questions, like the sequence. Which question you will do first, which question you will do last, and which question you are not able to do, so you will try in the last. That will give a better impression, a positive impression to the examiner also, because in the answer sheet, the first answer definitely impress us, impress the examiner. Then second point is, after reading time, after utilizing the reading time, when you have decided about what question you are doing at first, you utilize that reading time. At least little bit of the requirements of the questions you make in your mind, that this is a question, these are the requirements of the question, this I will proceed like this. Then attempt all the questions, all the sub parts. Attempt all the questions, don't leave any question, and attempt all the sub parts of a particular question at one particular place. It should not be like that. We attempt 1A first, then 1D, then 2A, then 1C. Because if you do like this, I'm not sure whether the examiners will be giving you marks for the later parts which you are attempting after question number 2. They are not bound to give you marks for that. Handwriting. Legible handwriting should be used in the examination answer sheet. If the handwriting is very bad, then I think nobody will be able to understand what you have written. Whenever you attempt the answers in the examination, you think from that particular angle, that if you would have been the examiner, what type of marks you would allot for the work done by you. Imagine yourself in that particular situation. I think you would be the better judge. You have to make your speech, otherwise the answer paper you will not be able to complete. And assumptions and working notes with complete disclosures. I have already told you in some of the questions where we are given the choice, where we are given the freedom by the paper setter to choose a particular method of accounting, or if there are certain methods for valuing certain things like goodwill, I have explained just now. So wherever I have been given choice and I can apply a particular method, and by applying that particular method, or maybe the language of the question is little bit confusing. In some particular question, the language of one particular adjustment is not clear to you. It's something that the students may make one or two assumptions. One can solve like this, but the other can solve like this, and both the combinations, both the commutations, both the alternative approaches are perfectly correct. In that case, the evaluator will give marks to you only if you will make disclosure of the method or approach adopted by you. So this is a basic requirement. You have already heard about complete disclosures in the financial statements. So now listen about this. This is regarding complete disclosures in the answer sheet. As complete disclosure in the financial statements, if you do not do it, it's unethical. So you assume that if you are not doing complete disclosures in your answer with complete working notes, with proper assumptions, any notes to accounts, then there will be lack of disclosures in your answer sheet, which will definitely raise an objection by the auditor. Auditor, who is the auditor? Examiner is the auditor in your case. I think now you are clear with it. There is no mantra, there is no magic stick which we can apply to pass the examination or to score more marks in the examination. It's the only thing is the hard work, determination, dedication, sincerity, and complete disclosures, as I have mentioned. The proper examination strategy adoption. They are that you can say is a complete mantra if you want to say. Prepare brief notes if you are desiring of making about accounting standards or something like that. But in practical papers like accounting, I would say that only few topics would require your notes. Otherwise, you can manage. If you want, it depends upon individual. If any individual wants to revise at later stage of revision, stage of preparation, then he or she can make notes. Otherwise, ignore. How to manage time in the examination? This is the same thing as we have already discussed, that we have 15 minutes time for reading. You have to utilize it. You have to make optimum use of it. Go through all the questions. Accounting dalna. Paper 1. Go through all the questions quickly. Select the question that you would be attempting from all the questions. I think most of these points I have already discussed with you at length. Now we will be taking few queries if they are there. Majority of paper 1. Paper 2 का लगा हुआ है filter. Paper 1 accounting. Go through all the questions quickly. Select the questions that you would be attempting from all the questions and mark the question which you will be attempting first. This is the same thing which I have told you. Allocate estimated time period of 10 to 15 marks for revision at last. Means if you have 3 hours and you have to attempt 6 questions or 7 questions, then you have to decide that you are not going to spend more than 24 to 25 minutes on a particular question. But if you think that they are in one particular question you are stuck up, you are stuck up and you are requiring more time, that for the timing you leave that particular question and you move ahead. After completing all others, you come back to that particular question where you were stuck up, then you try to solve it now afterwards. But don't waste time on that particular question if you are stuck up, and don't indulge in that for too long. It should not happen that 1 hour is being wasted on a particular question or 1.5 hours is being wasted on a particular question. Let's not waste time on that particular question. You have to adhere to the time, no? Write each answer in commensurate with the marks with the question carries. If it's a 5 marks question, then definitely the answer should be of that length. This generally comes for the question on accounting standards or the theory question. Otherwise, so it's not like this. But in accounting standard question also, you have to be specific. It should not happen that you have studied the accounting standards. So what do you think? Like मेरे को तो आता है, जितना आता है सारा इसमें लिख ही दूं. If it's a question on AS3 or if it's a question on AS2, that तो I am very familiar with. वो AS तो मुझे अच्छे से आता है. AS2 का क्वेश्चन है, चाहे उसमें AS2 का एक पैरा पूछा गया था, लेकिन मैंने तो 4 पैरा लिख दिए, मुझे ज्यादा नंबर मिल जाएगा. अरे क्वेश्चन तो 5 मार्क्स का ही था ना. So how will you get more marks if the question was of 5 marks? और क्वेश्चन की रिक्वायरमेंट अगर उसमें एक सब पैरा का क्लॉज फिट होना है, तो that fitting is only required, not the entire paragraphs you have reproduced in. So that thing you have to understand. How to round off digits? I think you are all familiar with rounding off is generally preferred up to 2 or 3 decimal places. Generally, we do it up to like if it is 65.889, then we do it like this. 65.889 पे we will stop, not beyond that. Okay. And point 5 से ऊपर अगर है, like if it's more than 0.5, then it will be again 0.6. The next subdigit, the next digit rather, decimal place wala. Let me see your queries if are there. One student is asking me, Harshit Kumar. Harshit Kumar is asking, provide me all the questions on my mail. I think you are asking about mock test questions. So mock tests have been uploaded on BS Knowledge portal. So I don't think there is any problem. You can download from there. And if you want, I will show you a mail ID at the end of this session. You can note this mail ID and you can request me on that mail ID for these questions. I will give you. No issue. How to present answer? Patil Ashu is asking about how to present answers. I think Ashu, your query might have resolved by this time because I have specifically devoted time for presentation of answers, and more slides are still there with me where I will discuss about how to present answers. All papers required in exam. Accounting standard question we are not able to find. Okay. Accounting standard question we are not able to attempt. This we have already discussed in detail. Priya is asking again the same thing. We want mock test. Chitra is also asking the same thing. Unable to find MTP in the BOS Knowledge portal. I think there is no issue in BOS Knowledge portal. You can directly go to BOS Knowledge portal and there is properly MTP is uploaded on that. I will show you the mail ID. If you still have the problem, you ask me on that particular mail ID. I will give you the link. Initial accounting, okay. Most of the questions are related with non-completion. Most of the queries are related with non-completion of the mock test in the time period. One is asking about the exam postponement, suggested answers. I think most of the queries of the students we have already discussed, and they are asking about one is non-completion of the questions in the examination. So the time they are finding it less. We have already discussed about this also, and many students have asked us about how to. They are not able to solve the question paper, and within the time period. So I think the strategy we have designed and we have discussed, I think that would help all of you. Regarding presentation aspects of the answers, we will discuss more, and if we will have time, we will also pattern of the question paper also we have discussed. If we will have time, we will also go for the more examination strategy. So now how to attempt questions in exam. Give all the necessary working notes as part of the main solution, as I have already discussed. If there are many approaches to solve a particular problem, mention the assumptions considered in the solution, since it's the basis on which the solution is derived. The approach you have selected, whatever approach you have selected, please mention it clearly. Please mention it clearly in your answer. In the question based on practical application of accounting standard, support the answer with provision of that particular accounting standard. And one more thing, it's very important. Do not mention any wrong para number or wrong accounting standard number in the answer sheet. If it's a question of AS3, if it's a question of AS12 government grant, you know the, first of all, you should be very familiar with the name and the number of the standard, okay? If you are not sure, like if you have forgotten in the examination, like government grant AS was or 12 or 30. So you write AS 14 accounting for government. It's very bad. If you do not know, then you please don't quote the para number or the number of the accounting standard. You just say that accounting standard on government grant says this. You don't say that AS 13 on government grant says this. Because if you write AS 13 on government grant says this, it will give a negative impact. So if smartly, you do not know, but you smartly behave, and you don't write that, you don't show your negative things. No, you do not show your negative things. What are the general mistakes committed by the students? Now come to that. What are the general mistakes committed by you people? In standard-based questions, students generally unable to substantiate their conclusion by applying the provision of the accounting standard. This we have already told you. And lack of in-depth knowledge of the concept is being reflected in the answers. So please be more specific in your answers. Don't write general answers where the lack of conceptual understanding is being reflected, because then the examiners would not be able to give you marks. Whatever you say, after coming from the examination of say, I have attempted all correct, I was totally correct, I would get more than 90% marks. But in reality, when your answers will be evaluated, in majority of the answers, there is some error. And if the error is just calculating error, then the evaluator may not deduct so much marks. But if there is a conceptual error, because there is a step marks procedure while evaluating, step-to-step marking is there. So in case of any such error which has cascading effects means one particular error leads to error in different stages, different steps, then you think how many marks would be deducted for a particular problem. And one more thing is that wrong carry forward of the amounts from one page to another. This results into mistake in all further computations, wherever that amount is used, and again loss of marks is there. Many students do not take care of the format prescribed. In old course and new course, for both of the students, you listen to it very carefully, because these are the common points, these are the common things which the students do in the examination. So you have to take extra care of the format, because it's one of the important criteria for assessing the knowledge of the student. If you have shown PPE under some other head, then definitely you will not get marks. Or if you have shown plant and machinery under intangible, or intangible under PP, then again it will be a problem. The answers again should reflect the current position of the particular amendment, if any has taken place. All the answers should reflect the latest position. Many students do not provide necessary working notes. This has also been there. So these are the general mistakes which have been observed by us. You have to mention the assumptions very clearly. We have told you. Sometimes a twist in the question may put you in a state of confusion, which may ultimately reflect in your answer. So be confident, be calm while attempting the examination question paper. Under examination hall, do not panic, do not nervous. And whatever type of questions is being asked in the examination, if it seems to you that it's a new question, you are not able to attempt, how will you attempt? Be calm, be composed, start reading the question afresh and then try to solve it. Ho jayega. It's not like that you will not be able to. If you have understood the topic well, then whatever type of problem come in the examination, I think you will be able to achieve. You will be able to solve it. Don't give irrelevant details even for small questions. Don't waste time on any particular question. Restrict your answers to the specific requirement of the question. Don't go for selective study. Focus on theoretical or conceptual understanding of each topic, as I have already discussed. Do adequate practice of practical or numerical questions. This will also help you in time management, retaining speed. Actually, what happens if you have 14 chapters or 15 chapters in your syllabus? You have done all the problems of the study material or the practice manual by your own hand in your registers. Then all type of problems you have done at least twice till now by hand. Not only reading, by hand you have done it yourself. In the examination, no other new problem would come. कोई आसमान से उठ के सवाल नहीं आएगा. जो भी क्वेश्चन आएगा वो स्टडी मटेरियल से या प्रैक्टिस मैनुअल से ही आएगा. अगर डिफरेंट भी बनाया होगा तो जो बेस होगा that will be only from the concepts given in the study material. That will not be new. So if you have done 25 to 30 questions of each particular topic, why we are saying it again and again, that if you have done 25 to 30 questions of each particular topic, then whatever type of question you will be asked in the examination, that will be somehow similar to the question which you have already done. It will not appear to you that it's a new question. It will not appear to you as a new question. Rather, it will be, when you will solve it, you will see that similar type of question. Oh, this is a familiar question I have done in study material, test your knowledge also. Or I have done in PM also. This is the same type of question. Only the names have changed, only the figures have, two adjustment are only additional. So that type of reaction would come if you have done adequate practice. So that is the only reason why we again and again say that you do more and more practice. Because if you have done adequate practice, then all the questions on the examination question papers will look familiar to you, will look similar to you. ऐसा लगेगा ही नहीं कि कोई नया क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में आ गया. Be careful while using the information given in the question. It should not happen कि 5 लाख लिखा है दिखे 50,000 या 50,000 लिखा है दिखा है 5 लाख. तो आंसर के अंदर all the workings have been done as per 5 lakh share capital or 5 lakh amount given in trial balance or ledger balance or balance. Years it was 50,000. So this type of mistake many times happen by the students. एक जीरो मिस हो गया या फिर जीरो फालतू लग गया या फिर 5 को 8 पढ़ लिया, 3 को 8 पढ़ लिया, 8 को 3 पढ़ लिया, या फिर टोटल करते समय गड़बड़ हो गया. कुछ आगे के फ्रंट पेज पे कुछ पोर्शन था बैलेंस शीट का, कुछ नेक्स्ट पेज पे पोर्शन था, तो कैरी फॉरवर्ड करा या टोटल कैलकुलेटर पे चलाया तो फर्स्ट पेज की फिगर सेकंड पेज पे लाने में गड़बड़ हो गया. This type of situation should be avoided by being extra careful. And whatever calculator you are using in examination hall, you stick to the old one only. Whatever calculator you are using in your home during the last 6 months or 7 months, the same model of calculator, same calculator you should be used in examination hall, because our hands are set on that particular model. If we buy some new model and then we go to examination, then our hands will not work with speed on that particular calculator. Assess your preparational level by attempting previous examination question papers under mock examination conditions. This already. How to manage time, we have already discussed about this, that planning needs to be done in 15 minutes so that we can give your best in 3 hours of examination. That is why these 15 minutes are so crucial. As soon as you receive your paper, you will start writing as you are very clear in your mind which questions you have to attempt and what sequence you have to attempt. So the reading time you have to effectively utilize. You all must be aware that you get extra 15 minutes before the start of the examination, and that is the reading time. You all should know it. In that time period, you can utilize, you can decide about the priority as we have already discussed. So this was all about how to manage time in the examination, how to prepare for the examination, how to cover the syllabus, how to study effectively, how to learn the concepts given in the study material, how to practice more and more problems, how to assess your level of preparedness. Now you will say that we have done the mock test, we have done the previous examination question papers. How now we want to compare our answers? So the same way you can compare our answers with the previous year examination suggested answers. The suggested answers have already been published. You can compare your answers with those. Like mock test answers also you can compare. You can compare, you will be able to know that these are the things which I did not write in my answer. So this is this marks I should get out of 10. I should get only 5 marks or 6 marks. These are the parameters. These are the significant points which I missed. These are the pointers which I missed. So you keep a note of it so that next time you assure yourself that you will not be able to achieve, you will not do these mistakes so that you can achieve more marks. So second step, again, you can start that particular mock test again. The questions where you were lacking, where you were finding difficulty, you try to attempt those questions again. So mainly we have all understood that secret of passing the examination. The secret of passing the examination is only the hard work, more and more practice, determination, willpower, strong willpower, and dedication. As it's the very first paper, so you have to be extra careful for this paper because your morale, your confidence should not lose down, it should not shatter because it may impact the remaining papers of group 1 also. And if you are appearing for both groups, then again the mood psychology can prevail up till next group also. So I am giving the best, I have given the best advice to you for this particular paper. I hope all of you will follow this. And one more thing, many of the students want to ask certain doubts or certain queries while studying the chapter or while attempting the mock test paper. So I am holding this slide for a while. You please note down this mail ID, accounting-inter@ICAI.in. This ID is specifically meant for students' queries. Whenever you will send us a mails, we will definitely get in touch with you and we will resolve your query. I think you have noted the mail ID. So with this, I would like to end up the session. But one last thing, which is the most crucial thing I would like to say to you is that accounting constitutes a very significant area of core competence of chartered accountants students. Chartered accountancy students, for chartered accountancy students is very important subject. So please give due weightage to this particular topic, to this particular subject, and all the chapters of this paper are equally important. We have discussed the essentials of preparation in today's session, along with strategy for facing the examination. While discussing the crucial aspects of important topics of the syllabus, we have also addressed the common type of mistakes which generally students make while solving the answers in the examination, and what are the methods to overcome those weaknesses or errors. I know that all of you are quite sincere. Your professional approach and qualitative effort is required to clear this examination. To be a successful chartered accountant, you should have a strong determination, strong willpower, sincerity, hard work, planning. This is the only mantra to achieve success in the examination. As this is the very first paper, I want you to attempt the complete paper, the complete correct paper rather, so that your other papers can also get momentum because of this. And I want you to succeed well in this particular examination, not only in this particular examination, but in real life also. But definitely, if you will follow the strategy, if you will follow this guidance, you will see the result. You will yourself see the result. I would not say anything, but you will yourself see the impact of this on your performance in the examination. So with this note, I would like to end up the session. All the best for your examination and stay at home and be safe. And do lot of efforts as much as you can while studying. Don't lose patience, be composed, be confident and calm. And whenever you face any difficulty, we are with you. Be assured. Okay, thank you. Thanks all of you for learning and for listening me patiently.